Most people spend their entire lives working for money. They wake up. They go to work. They earn a paycheck. They pay bills. They spend what's left. Then they repeat the same process next month, and the next month, and the next year. But what if there was another way to think about money? What if, instead of making money your only source of survival, you could gradually build a system where your money starts working for you? This doesn't mean you can stop working tomorrow. It doesn't mean there's a secret investment that will make you rich overnight. And it certainly doesn't mean you should put all your money into risky opportunities. The real idea is much simpler. When you work for money, you exchange your time and effort for income. When your money works for you, you use your accumulated capital to potentially create more value, income, or growth. The goal is to eventually have both working together. Your skills generate income, and your money helps build your future. In today's video, we're going to look at exactly how you can start making that transition. Let's begin. Step 1. Stop spending everything you earn. Before your money can work for you, you need to have some money left over. This sounds obvious, but it's one of the biggest financial problems people face. They earn $1,000. They spend $1,000. Then they earn $200. They spend $200. Then they earn $2,000. They upgrade their lifestyle and spend $2,000. The income changes, but the financial position doesn't. That's why the first step isn't investing. The first step is creating a gap between your income and your expenses. If you earn $1,000 and spend $950, you have $50 available for your future. If you earn $1,000 and spend $800, you have $200. That money is your starting capital. It can become savings. It can reduce expensive debt. It can be invested appropriately. It can help you build a business. The amount doesn't have to be huge. You simply need to start keeping part of what you earn. Step 2. Give your money a job. When money sits in your account without a purpose, it's easy to spend. That's why you need a plan. Every time you receive income, divide your money according to your priorities. Some money is for essential expenses. Some is for savings. Some can be used to pay down debt. Some can be allocated toward investments. Some can be used for enjoyment. The exact percentages depend on your income and circumstances. There is no universal formula that works for everyone. But the principle is powerful. Your money should have a destination before it arrives. Don't wait until the end of the month to see what's left. Pay your future first, even if you're starting with a small amount. Step 3. Build your financial foundation. Before you focus heavily on making your money work for you, build a foundation. Start with an emergency fund. Why? Because investing money you might need next week can create problems. Imagine you invest $1,000. Then 2 months later, your car breaks down. You need $700 immediately. If the investment has fallen in value and you are forced to sell, you could turn a temporary emergency into a permanent loss. That's why having accessible emergency savings is important. Your emergency fund should be based on your essential expenses and personal circumstances. Start small if necessary. Build it gradually. The goal is to create a buffer that protects you from unexpected events. Financial stability comes before aggressive wealth building. Step 4. Eliminate expensive debt. Here's something many people forget. Sometimes the best way to make your money work for you is to stop your money from working against you. High-interest debt can consume your income. Imagine you owe money at a very high interest rate. Every month, interest is being added. You could invest your money and hope to earn a return. But if you're simultaneously paying extremely high interest on debt, you're fighting an uphill battle. That's why expensive consumer debt should be taken seriously. List your debts. Know the interest rates. Know the balances. Create a repayment strategy. As you eliminate expensive debt, more of your future income becomes available for savings, investing, and building assets. You're essentially removing a financial weight from your back. Step 5. Build an asset. Now we get to the exciting part. An asset is something that can potentially hold value or generate income. There are many different types of assets. Depending on your circumstances, they could include businesses, diversified investments, intellectual property, or other productive assets. The important question is, can this money potentially create more value in the future? For example, imagine you have $500. You could spend all of it on things that provide temporary enjoyment. Or you could use some of it to purchase tools and materials that help you start a small service business. Now that money has become part of an income-producing system, maybe you use money to buy equipment for photography, maybe tools for a repair business, maybe materials for a small manufacturing operation, maybe software that improves your professional productivity. The asset doesn't have to be expensive. It just needs to be useful and productive. Step 6. Invest for the long term. Investing is another way to put money to work. But this is where patience becomes extremely important. Investing isn't about finding something that will double tomorrow. It's about putting capital into investments that have the potential to grow or produce income over time while understanding the risks. Depending on your country and circumstances, you might consider diversified investments such as broad market funds, bonds, or other regulated investment products. The exact investment should depend on your goals, time horizon, risk tolerance, and local regulations. Don't invest because somebody on social media says this is guaranteed to make you rich. There are no guarantees in normal investing. Understand what you are buying. Understand the fees. Understand the risks. And think in years, not days. Step 7. Let compounding work. One of the most powerful concepts in finance is compound growth. Here's the basic idea. Your money earns a return. Then the return stays invested. Future returns can then be generated on a larger amount. Over long periods, this can potentially create significant growth. But compounding needs time. That's why starting early can be so powerful. You don't need to begin with thousands of dollars. You need consistency. Imagine investing a small amount every month for years. The early results may look boring. You might look at your account and think, is this even working? But remember, a tree doesn't look impressive immediately after planting the seed. Growth happens gradually. Then, over time, the results become more visible. Step 8. Make your skills work for you. There's another form of money working for you that doesn't involve traditional investments. It's leveraged through skills. Suppose you learn how to edit videos. At first, you exchange your time for money. You edit one video, you get paid. But eventually, you can build systems around that skill. You could create templates, create digital products, teach the skill, build a team, start an agency, create educational content, or develop a business around the service. Now your original skill has created multiple opportunities. This is why your ability to earn money is itself an asset. The better you become at solving valuable problems, the more opportunities you can potentially create. Step 9. Build multiple sources of income. If you rely on one paycheck, your financial life is heavily dependent on one source. A long-term goal can be to gradually create additional sources of income. For example, your job provides active income. Your small business provides business income. Your investments may provide potential returns. A digital product might generate sales. A rental property, where appropriate, might generate rental income. A service business might generate recurring revenue. You don't need all of these. And you definitely shouldn't create multiple income streams just because it sounds impressive. Start with one additional source. Make it profitable. Make it sustainable. Then consider expanding. Step 10. Reinvest your profits. This is where many people go wrong. They start making extra money. Then they immediately spend all of it. Imagine you start a small business and make an extra $500. You could spend all $500. Or you could reinvest part of it. Buy better equipment. Improve your marketing. Purchase inventory. Improve your skills. Hire help build systems. Or save part of the profit. Reinvestment can help a productive activity grow. The idea is simple. Don't consume every dollar your assets produce. Let some of the money return to the system. That is how small amounts of capital can potentially become larger amounts over time. Step 11. Buy time, not just things. Here's a completely different way to think about money. Money can buy things, but it can also buy time. Imagine you build enough financial resources that you no longer need to work every hour just to pay your bills. You can choose which projects to accept. You can spend more time with your family. You can build a business. You can learn. You can travel. You can create. That's one of the most valuable forms of wealth. The goal isn't simply to own expensive things. The goal is to have more control over your time. Because your time is limited. Once an hour is gone, you can't buy it back. Use money wisely to create more choices over how you spend your time. Step 12. Avoid the look-rich trap. One of the biggest obstacles to making your money work for you is constantly trying to look wealthy. A new car, a new phone, expensive clothes, luxury restaurants, constant vacations. There's nothing wrong with enjoying these things when you can genuinely afford them. But if every increase in income immediately becomes an increase in lifestyle, your money never gets the chance to build anything. You earn, you spend. You earn, you spend. You stay trapped. Instead, let your financial assets grow alongside your lifestyle. If your income increases, don't automatically increase your expenses by the same amount. Give some of the increase a new job, savings, investments, business, education, assets. That is how you create financial momentum. The money working for you cycle. Let's put everything together. You earn money through your work. You control your expenses. You keep part of your income. You build an emergency fund. You eliminate expensive debt. You invest in valuable skills. You acquire productive assets. Those assets potentially generate returns or income. You reinvest some of those returns. Your capital grows. Your income grows. You acquire more assets. And eventually, more of your financial progress comes from the things you've already built. That's the transition. You don't stop working. You gradually stop depending only on your labor. A simple example. Imagine someone earns $1,500 a month. At first, they spend almost everything. Then they start tracking their expenses. They discover they can consistently free up $150. They build an emergency fund. Then they begin paying down expensive debt. After that, they learn a valuable skill and start earning an additional $200 per month. Now they have more financial breathing room. They continue controlling their lifestyle. They save and invest part of their additional income. They also reinvest some money into their skill-based business. Over several years, they may build savings, investments, skills, customers, and business assets. Notice what happened. They didn't start with millions. They started with a small gap between income and expenses. Then they turned that gap into capital. Then they used the capital to create more opportunities. That's the process. Your 5-step action plan. If you want to start making your money work harder for you, here's what you can do. Step 1, track your money. Know exactly where your income goes. Step 2, create a gap. Spend less than you earn. Step 3, build protection. Create emergency savings and deal with expensive debt. Step 4, build assets. Develop skills, businesses, and appropriate long-term investments. Step 5, reinvest. Don't consume every dollar your assets produce. Let some of your money continue working. Final message. The goal isn't to become rich overnight. The goal is to gradually change the role money plays in your life. At the beginning, you work for money. You exchange your time and skills for income. Then you learn to manage that income. You save, you invest, you build assets. You create additional income. And eventually, some of the things you've built can begin producing value without requiring the same amount of direct effort from you. That's what it means to make your money work instead of working only for money. Remember, earn, keep, protect, invest, build, reinvest, and repeat. Don't worry if you're starting with a small amount. A small amount managed consistently can be more powerful than a large amount constantly wasted. You don't need to have everything figured out today. You just need to make your next financial decision better than your last one. Because the money you keep today can become capital tomorrow. The skills you develop today can increase your income tomorrow. And the assets you build today can potentially create opportunities for you years from now. So stop asking only, how much money can I make? Start asking, what can I build with the money I make? That is the question that moves you from simply earning money to building wealth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.